What's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of History's Benchwarmers. Today we have two guests for you. One of them is going to be Michael. Michael is also a fellow classmate of ours. He's in the bodybuilding and things like that, so it would be nice to get his perspective on weight loss and maintaining going to the gym and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah. See, the second person that we have coming on is my longtime friend Eric. He's going to talk about his perspective on traditional school, on the military, on exercise, and whatever else that he wants to talk about. He's also a history minor. He majored in criminal justice, graduated last semester, and he's going to be talking about that. So I'm pretty excited to have two guests on the show.
All right. So we're here with Michael and Eric. Both of these men are history fluent.
You should say historians.
So Mike's a history major. Eric is a criminal justice major. He has a degree in criminal justice and a minor in history. He already graduated. Mm-hmm. He's 10 steps ahead of us, right?
Well, name's Eric. Just like what Richard said, I'm a criminal justice major and minor in history. I just graduated about 6 months ago. I have 5 years in the military now, and I work and I'm in law enforcement. So, to accomplish all these things in a couple of years, I would say 4 years, I made that all happen. So
how does having a history minor and law enforcement go hand in hand? I'm sure that's what you guys were thinking too.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, I just took the history as minor as just I enjoy history, but it's kind of like how you say electives or whatever.
Okay, so they're elective courses.
Elective courses, but I guess with law enforcement, the history of law enforcement, I guess that's how it would go hand in hand. How policing has changed, because you kind of learn about history of law enforcement through my criminal justice classes.
So one thing that you guys don't know about Eric that I know is he is an expert in Nazi history.
Really?
Yeah. Since I've known Eric since 4th grade. We've been good friends since, and he's an amazing artist when it comes to drawing anything military type, and he's just so well versed when it comes to German history.
Okay. Oh shit, that's where I'm writing my papers on.
So really?
Yeah. Maybe World War II.
Yeah, World War II and Cold War stuff. Yeah. So that's what I like to learn about the most.
My name is Michael. I'm history major, strictly history. Just want to specialize in U.S. history, particularly 19th century America. That's pretty much it. I live a very boring life. Not much excitement I do.
All historians live boring lives.
Secretly exciting though, because one of the secret things that to me is exciting about Mike is that, if you don't mind, that you were 350 pounds, you said 330 pounds, and he dropped to 200 pounds. Mike went from this big guy to being just this bodybuilder, and I think that's, to me, I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty exciting. That's not boring to me.
So then my question to you, Mike, is what really got you into bodybuilding instead of just dieting, but what really actually got you into bodybuilding itself, those types of workouts, that type of doing things?
When I initially started, it was kind of funny. It was all over a girl. So eventually, it was my freshman year in college. I saw this girl, and she was God damn, your jaw will hit the floor when you see her. She was just that fucking gorgeous. So I want to ask her out. But the thing is, I look fat, I'm ugly, low self-esteem. So I'm how do I work out, lose some weight, look more presentable, and I encourage myself to ask her out. As I got more into working out, over months and years gone by, I lost the weight, and I just felt I don't even fuck with the girl. I don't even give a fuck about the girl anymore. I just do it for me now. Going to the gym is fun, it's therapeutic. There's just something about lifting, just grabbing iron. It's so I don't know how to describe it. It's just therapy. You're 1 hour, your mind's off everything. It's a big stress reliever.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
100%. I mean, that's kind of how I do it. I mean, if I have a stressful moment, there's either two things I do. It's either I go to the gym or I drink my sorrows away. Both of them are equally great in solving my problems, but I like going to the gym for that too. That's like more of a therapeutic way of just getting rid of that excess like stress or anxiety or anything else that you really have, that you're dealing with. Eric, you look like you work out, do you?
Yeah, I go to the gym pretty much every day after work.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just do it because I got a
he's
lot
an
of
army,
energy.
he's gotta
Yeah, I gotta stay in
True.
shape. You gotta pass the
You're gonna end up
PT
seeing one of those
test.
big fat guys in uniform. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. You see a lot of cops like that, man. You
Cops,
see a lot of
yeah.
slim, nice-looking cops, and then you also see like
Fat ones.
fat ones. Like, how the hell are you gonna chase me? I'm like,
It's the fat cops that drive the paddy wagons.
True. Well, I got pulled over by a couple of like bigger cops. I remember I had a party. And it was my senior year. My parents were in Florida with my brother, so I had the whole house to myself. So I decided to throw a rager. And I had a couple of my football buddies, and like, yeah, we're just gonna have a couple people order. This shit was like Project X, man. Like, there was a shit ton of people that ended up coming to my house, and of course the cops came, because they always, there's a shit ton of cars parked across the streets, and the cops are like, all right, well, there's already noise complaints and everything. So the first cop that comes to my door, he's, kind of reminds me of you actually, just the way that he looks and is built and everything. Mm-hmm. And then he pulls me over to the front of the house, and there's like 3 more cops that come in, and all 3 of them are super old, and all 3 of them are super fat. And I'm like, if kids start bolting right now, there's no way you're gonna be able to catch them, So is it like that I've been doing it for so long that I don't really need to?
Yeah.
Or is it just like once you're in it, like they don't really care of like how you keep yourself?
Right. I think it's with that. I think it's mostly with the older generation of police officers. Like they just, I guess they got complacent. Because most young officers are in shape, I think it's just reflective of like society. Like people they're more health. How do you say conscience?
Health conscious.
Yeah. So I think it's just different now. The newer generations.
So, and the things that you've learned in criminal
Yeah.
justice compared to what these older generation was taught, do you see differences, or do you think that criminal justice has stayed the same throughout the years?
I think it changes. Like I guess for bad and good. Like I remember like the older the veterans. It says like it's a lot more different back then. Used to whoop people. Whoop them real good. But
yeah. Nowadays, if you see a cop hitting somebody, they're gonna be on the news as and portrayed as a villain.
Yeah.
Do you guys learn about this like stuff that's going on in your criminal justice classes, like and also in academy? I'm pretty sure that you guys. Do you learn how to handle the situation? Do you look at these current events that are happening and be like, here's what we can do better? Or is it just like, this guy fucked up, let's not talk about him? Like, how does that... Because, I mean, you see this shit happen all the time.
Right.
People are getting shot everywhere.
Right now, crisis intervention training and de-escalation is kind of a big deal now. And that's, like, in the academy, they, teach you how to, pretty much, like, some people you just can't talk to, You're going to have to use force on them right away. But, you try to de-escalate it first. Like, see, what's the problem? Try to work down from up here to down here. So, it's mostly like, try to resolve problems without having to use force,
Does that require you to take more psychology classes too?
Well, in the academy, there's these like instructors. They're trained in that stuff, I think if I remember, they have some of that psychology training. Actually, a psychologist talked to us in the academy how to you learn like certain mental illnesses have this behaviors and stuff. So how to identify it, I've been working, I could tell this guy something's off about this person. Like I deal with different people every day, so you learn different personalities. Somebody's on bullshit or not, or they're lying to you, or you learn how to read people.
How long do you stay in the academy? How long?
I was like, they were like 4 months.
4 months in the academy.
Yeah.
Like, is that only 4 months? It seems like a very short time to try to adequately train a police officer.
Bro, do you understand like the population of criminals compared to like and just normal people and just not even just criminals but people in general compared to cops? Like when they wanted to have the Olympics here in Chicago, not only would they have to build, a shit ton of new places, for these events, but they also had to like quadruple their police force because of not only are you going to have, people who live in Chicago, but now you're having foreign people come over here. And, like just to see these events and you don't know what could be going on, our own people having problems with them or them having problems with us. Like there is not enough cops, I think, to handle like like the population that we have. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then training them as well. Of course, it's going to be only 4 months because you got to get them out there because there's not enough, and we still have those fat cops who can't do shit.
Yeah. So when I first started, this guy was on the phone. Like it's already like time to lock everybody up. Hey, dude, it's time to like fucking lock up. Hang up the phone. So I called. They called the security office. Hey, shut the phones off, and they shut it off. And then I'm talking to some other dude. And he walks up to me. He's like, "Why you clap the phone or whatever?" And like, it's fucking time to lock up. So another officer saw me, and they walk in, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you that close to my officer?" So I was new. I was a rookie. So I'm like, "Fuck!" Like I was kind of like shaking my, yeah.
Can you imagine how scary that'd be?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eric's not the biggest guy either.
Yeah.
He's a. I'm not saying he's
I'm
not
not big.
He's not tall, but he's not tall.
Not tall.
And like looking at Mike, if Mike were my teacher or a cop or something, I'd be a little intimidated just because how big he is.
Yeah.
Not that big.
But you are tall.
You are tall, and that adds to that feel. So
It really gets to me that we have like tall people in society. You know what I mean? That we have these stories about like David and Goliath, and these people are like 9 feet tall. Like what the fuck? Like these people are huge. Like what happened?
I mean,
2,000, 3,000 years ago, you have these giants walking around, and now we have people who are we like dogs, in the sense of how dogs used to be like wolves, basically,
Hey,
and
but
they devolved into like these little chihuahua-looking fucking things. Like is that the same thing as
I
happening?
think it
in
depends
us?
on where you're from too.
Right.
Because if you look at the Nordic people up in like Sweden or Norway or Denmark, there are some tall people there.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Germans; there are some tall people. I was short in Germany. I'm 6'1". I felt short. I was as tall as the women. The men were all Mike. So I think it just depends where you're from too. And
I mean, also like I'm an outlier. I'm from a Hispanic family. Like Hispanics are not that tall.
no,
That's
you're
true.
Cuban.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a tall Cuban before.
Yeah, that's true, man. Shit. Yeah, I'm Mexican, so we're not the skinny Mexicans. We're the, big and stout Mexicans. So I think the tallest of all my uncles is maybe like 5'8", and we're all pretty, pretty stocky, gentlemen. And at my dad's side,
You're
of the
not
family,
stocky. You're big boned.
There we go.
That's the term.
It's a husky. There's
Husky,
like a
yeah.
whole list of it, right?
Husky, big bone. Gabriel Iglesias list.
Yeah.
Not fat, I'm fluffy.
There you go.
Exactly.
See?
There you go.
Better way to put it.
All right.
Yeah, dude. If any Hispanics, like, there is no portion control. Like my dogs. My fucking parents feed my dog as if she were Hispanic. That dog is fat as hell. Silver, she still gets around, like, so hyper as fucking wants to play. But when she lays down, you're like, fuck, you see that belly.
It's just bulging out.
I'm like, stop feeding this dog.
You guys ever heard of vegan cat before?
Vegan cat. What?
Vegan cat?
It's Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw a vegan cat is like vegans to the extreme. They feed their cat solely a plant-based diet. I'm like, if you know anything about cats are by nature, if I'm not mistaken,
Carnivorous.
they're carnivores.
Yeah.
If you try to feed a cat truly a plant-based diet, they're going to go through malnutrition and die.
Seriously, man, if you go on Instagram and look up vegan cat, it's a real thing, and people actually do this.
It's
like,
fucking it's fucking stupid.
Look,
Yeah.
I understand like this craze for like vegan and vegetarian. Like I completely respect it, but just like don't throw it at me.
Like, don't use it as your ideology.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I get it, I understand it. It's good for you. It works for you. It'll
Right.
never work for me because I love meat too much.
Right.
I can't if I eat a salad without like chicken or steak or something, I feel like a rabbit.
Right.
Like, I need something in there to, like, I need meat.
It's real sustenance.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. I need something there, and if I don't have it, then it's useless, and I don't.
And there's a lot of vegans out there like who like try to preach like our eating style is the best way to eat for optimal health. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, you can be just as healthy as someone who's vegan if I eat meat.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if I ate primarily chicken or ate fish or ate some lean red meat, I'm still as healthy as you are.
Right.
If not, maybe healthier.
Getting certain vitamins and minerals are readily available in meats. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I think it's the B vitamins are crucial.
Yeah,
I think
the B vitamins. Yep.
So like you have to find some sort of supplementation, or maybe sometimes you take, or like for dairy products like calcium, vitamin D, you may take a supplement or drink primarily almond milk.
Almond milk's actually pretty tasty.
It is actually. I love almond milk.
Did you charging?
Yeah, it's charging. I want to applaud people who like are strictly vegan or even vegetarians in that matter, because it does take a lot of self-discipline for you to actually go through with it. To say that for the first 2 weeks, it's hard to give up meat. Now, for some people, it might be a little easier, a little harder. But just the fact that you can keep that up for years. This is a kid I went to high school with. His name's Oscar. Super hardcore vegan guy. Like, the kid's shredded as hell, and he's on a vegan diet. Like, that's just how he does it. He does it really well, and it works for him. And it works for some people, and it doesn't. And that's the biggest thing you have to figure out. I think, Michael, you can attest to this. Like, what works for your body? Like, you can't do...
It's all trial and error.
Right, to figure out what works for you, because you can't say, oh, well, this guy's doing it, it looks great for him, let me try it. And if it doesn't work for you, it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm not good enough. Well, no, it's just, it doesn't work for you.
That's why I think people say, oh, vegan, you have to eat this way, or doing keto, you have to eat this way,
right?
Or be vegetarian, eat this way, or fucking, the list goes on. I'm like, there's no universal right way of eating. Everyone's body is going to react differently. Everyone's body chemistry is going to be different.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know how your body's going to react to certain foods or not.
Right.
So do you think that's why people try out these different fad diets to see what works for them and what's sustainable?
Either if it works out for them, or they just want like the fastest way possible to lose weight.
Mm.
They want to like lose weight as quickly as possible like that. They're not aware that to lose weight, the best way to do is lose it as gradually as possible.
Right.
If you lose all your weight in a very short amount of time, you're not giving your body the necessary time to adjust to the weight loss. If you lose the weight just quickly like that, you can easily gain it back like that.
Basically, from what I learned in health class here in North Park.
Yeah, actually, I was just about to say that.
Like your body starts to develop visceral fat, and those fat cells grow, and they stay a certain size. So you can lose all that weight, but your body's like, nope, because the fat cells are still there. So when you lose weight so quickly, like I told you a few months ago, maybe like April, I went from like 285 to 245. I lost a lot of weight within a short period of time, and now I'm back up again. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, well, that's probably because I did it so quickly.
Right. They did, like, if you ever watch people from, like, The Biggest Loser, and they lose all this weight, if you catch them a couple months after the show,
they're just as big, if not bigger.
Yeah, they actually get bigger because your body kind of goes into like shock when
panic mode.
Yeah, because it's like you're losing all that, and now everything that you eat, your body is going to try to maintain and not get rid of.
It's in survival mode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why diets are kind of hard, because if you put your body in a shock like that, then you're gonna end up gaining more weight once you stop doing that specific diet.
Right.
Which is hard to maintain a diet because of all the things you have to do for it on its own. So yeah, and that's what I learned too in taking the North Park health classes here. They say the healthiest that you're supposed to do is lose 2 pounds a week. That's the healthy way of doing it, because any more than that, you're losing too much. I remember when I was trying to get to 200 pounds because I got to 250. Not working out, eating whatever the hell I wanted to eat,
Right.
And I started to go to the gym more, start doing more cardio and restricting my diet more. And one of the things I did for I think 3 days was just eat peanuts. So I woke up in the morning, I had peanuts, almonds, any nut that you can
So a high fat diet.
Yeah, basically, and it was just that.
So that include avocado?
No,
Avocados are actually one of the healthiest things you can possibly consume.
Oh yeah.
You know, say this thing apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah.
Just plant the avocados as well. It's one of the healthiest fats you can feed your body.
Oh, yeah.
Super expensive though.
Because everyone wants it, bro. Do you remember, like, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there was a huge avocado? Like, people were putting avocados on everything. And Mexicans have been doing that shit for years.
Yeah, I know.
And also, they go bad so fast, too.
Yeah.
So you, like, really be careful when you pick them out.
Bro, they're like bananas.
Yeah.
You know, if you leave them there, like, oh, it's still kind of, they're not ripe yet.
5 minutes later, it's like, what the fuck? It's got mold already.
It's all brown and shit. You're like, great. What am I going to do with this now? It's the same thing with avocados, which is, I would love to talk to a biologist and figure out why that happens so fast. Why certain fruits, you know, do that.
I wonder if you put fruits by a dehumidifier.
I'm pretty sure that all the shit that we get from these stores are just, it's not, they all have something in it. No matter how organic you want to say.
Like
your
pesticides?
food is. Yeah, pesticides or any of that other shit that they add to it to make it last longer or taste better.
That's what my grandma was telling me. So she lives in Mexico, and she was telling me the difference between the food that she grows, because she has a ranch, and she grows her own avocados and fruit, and she raises chickens and slaughters them and eats them. She says the difference in the taste of that food versus store-bought, even in Mexico, it just tastes so different. It's more natural.
Because a lot of meats are processed.
Yeah. But including the fruits and veggies, you would think, like, yeah, even organic tastes good. Like, I bought her some organic vegetables, and she's just like, this doesn't taste like the stuff that I grow.
But the thing is, like, what are you going to do? That's the only option available.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, Grandma, don't eat them.
I'm like, maybe like there's some stuff in it, but like, it still beats the hell off eating junk food.
Eric, being in the military, what kind of diet do they put you through? Like, how many calories do they give you?
5 calories.
5 calories a day. No. Well,
Survive.
Well, when I was in basic training, that's pretty much it's really strict. They give us.
So then, what kind of food does that consist of that they give you?
First of all, when it comes to drinks, it's mostly water most of the time. But if we're at a dining facility or whatever, we'll drink Powerade with our food because it's a big deal. Stay hydrated.
Electrolytes.
Yeah.
So those actually dehydrate you. It's just full of sugar.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because I know someone was telling me that Powerade is better for you than Gatorade because Gatorade has more sugar.
Gatorade also has a lot of sodium. You guys ever see how much sodium?
But sodium helps with water
retain water.
Right.
Yeah.
Because sodium is probably electrolytes. So.
So it's pretty much like healthy food, we'll eat they'll give us meat and shit, but it's like vegetables and all that stuff. And we gotta eat everything, so you can't be throwing food away.
How long do they give you to eat?
Probably less than 20 minutes.
Damn.
So
you guys
you gotta get a scarf
scarf
that shit now. Yeah.
I saw a video, a typical military fitness assessment, where they have you do pull-ups, a trap bar deadlift, or how far you can throw a heavy medicine ball across the field, do sprints. I'm like, it was grueling as hell.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But the shit that they put you through, they have to give you a lot of calories too. So
That's the one thing. I was in ROTC here, and they put us through these hard ass workouts. And I did ROTC and I played football. So after the ROTC workouts, I go right to football lifting, and I lost so much weight. I was in the best shape of my life. I was able to run 8 miles a day. I was super fucking strong. That's when I would bench almost 500 pounds, and I'm just like, yeah, this is fucking great. I stopped doing both, got fat.
Because I'm assuming it's hard to sustain all that.
It's so hard to try to run 8 miles a day, what we were doing, and on top of sprints, and then going to lift, and then going back into just a normal lifestyle, working out 3 times a week, less than that sometimes.
It's so hard, man, that there's this desire to look a certain way and to be a certain weight in this society now.
Particularly
now.
It's a very superficial society.
Right. If you look when they made Pumping Iron with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno and all those guys, when that movie came out in the 80s or in the 70s, and then the next generation into the 80s, my dad, I see pictures of him really trying bodybuilding type workouts. That was a huge craze for everybody. Everybody wanted to get big. for no
I
reason.
think Arnold Schwarzenegger is the thing why it's one of the people that made like the gym like a big deal. Like
Mhm.
everybody wants
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like go to the gym now because of
Yeah.
it.
That's why people like his gym, Gold's gym, it's considered the mecca of bodybuilding. You know, and, what is
Yeah.
it, Venice Beach? No,
Yeah, in Venice.
Something
Venice
like
Beach. Yeah.
I know Venice Beach is Muscle Beach, but
That's a goal. That's definitely on my to-do list and bucket list to go to Venice Beach and see where Arnold like worked out. Because like when I was really big into bodybuilding, like I watched documentaries, like figuring out how Arnold did his things and maybe even trying some of his workouts. But again, it goes back to what works for you. You know what I mean? The workouts that you do.
I
Workout's a workout, yes, but at the same time, it's like what.
and it can also be
What
an
helps you?
unhealthy obsession. People don't realize.
Oh,
Arnold was that big, and those guys too. You understand? They were on steroids.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
that's the point. And that's one of the questions I was going to ask you because there are vegan bodybuilders. These guys are huge.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're on some type of steroid?
I mean, I always want to give someone the benefit of the doubt because there's some people who are just genetic freak of natures.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, you can take two people through the same workout regimen, and one's like better than the other, most likely.
Oh yeah, that's just your body type. Though.
There are people that are just bred to be freak athletes. You know what I mean? Like you look at their parents and you're like, yeah, that kid's gonna be huge, and they end up being, you know,
A run?
yeah.
But there are some bodybuilders who I would question if they're natty or not. My biggest one is Phil Heath. He's like considered like today like the best bodybuilder in the world because he's won Mr. Olympia so many times. If you look at Phil Heath, he's a big ass motherfucker. You see his muscles just popping out of him.
Yeah.
Like that to me that's not natural. Like
No.
he's on something.
Yeah,
If you try to say, "Oh, I'm Nate," don't fucking insult our intelligence. Like we know you're on something.
yeah, of course. And these bodybuilders that sell like protein shakes and pre-workouts and stuff like this that put their name on it and say, "Oh, it can get you big." It's like, yeah, it can get you big to a certain point, but look at you. Like, there's no way you take this shit. Like, you stick something in your ass to get you big. You know what I mean? And, don't get me wrong. Bodybuilding, if that's your desire to look that big and to be that big, by all means, God bless your
my
heart.
biggest grip. First of all, I don't knock people who take steroids. My grip is why you're taking it for. If you're taking steroids that helps you get to that beach bod look, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You can easily get that beach bod look aesthetic by nutrition and adequate training and sleep.
So
If you want to take steroids because you want to go compete for the pros and try and market yourself and make it a livelihood, then yeah, I can understand that taking steroids.
So I'm sure some of our listeners, are people who are worried about their appearance and looking at, I want to get that beach bod look. What would be some type of diet or exercise or something? If you can go into detail about just the diet part, because they say what's 90% diet, 10% exercise. Or 5% exercise, 5%
I don't like
sleep,
that.
I
don't like that mindset. But yes, eating is a big part of it. But you want to give your full effort into everything. No one might say, "Okay, so go to the gym." Like, "Oh, it's only 30% of the work. I don't work out that hard." No, you need to train your ass off. You also need to train your ass off in your eating. Train your ass off in sleep. Like if you're gonna sleep, you better sleep like a fucking rock.
So yeah, if you can go,
It's a three-link chain.
Yeah.
Each aspect has to be in sync to promote muscle growth.
Yeah.
People are like, if I take a supplement, oh yeah, this is like a magical elixir helping me build muscle. No, it's not. It's called supplements for a reason. The name it's in itself, supplements. A supplement, adequate training, adequate sleep, adequate. Did I say your training already? Adequate nutrition.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that 100%. It's like when you look at a restaurant, I mean, like there's servers, there's bartenders, and then there's like bussers and food runners. Those people they call them support staff. That's what they do. Because a server and bartender are supposed to do that on their own. The place I work at now, we have no bussers and no food runners, so we bus our own tables and we run our own food. A lot of places are like, "Oh my god, how can you do that?" But like that's what you're supposed to do. These people are just to help support you, and like supplements, they're just there to help. Like it's nutrition and working out, number one, and then when you add the protein shakes and pre-workouts and all that, that's supposed to help. But it's not necessary.
A lot of people ask me, "What protein powder should I take?" I'm like, I give an eye roll when someone says that to me because you want to get most of your protein through food, wholesome food.
Right.
I only take protein powder not because I think it'll help me build muscle. I only take it because it'll help me my protein needs through the day.
Right.
Because if you just my personal case, when you're 6'5" and weigh over 200 pounds. It's fucking hard to get 230 grams of protein through food.
Right.
I take protein powder just to help me meet that goal. I don't take protein just to help me get bigger. No, it's just help me. It's to assist me.
So I've heard that you only need truly 15 grams of protein because that's all your body can digest
Amen.
and turn into amino acids.
Like
More
in a meat.
yeah, a day. More than 15 grams, or no, per meal. Sorry.
But say if that you need no muscle, just 50
But if you eat more than that, it just turns into fat because your body can't process all that meat.
That's not true. There's a video I can reference to. I forgot the exact science behind it, but I can reference you a video. It's Jeff Cavalier, Athlete X. This dude is a world-renowned physical therapist. Like he used to be like work with the Mets. Like he was the team trainer, and he talked about this because they're saying like you can only do just like 30 grams of protein per meal.
Right.
I mean, he tackles that issue. I forgot what was the exact argument for, but if you look at that video, he tackles that issue very adequately. My personal take is I don't give a fuck. Meal timing to me is overrated. I'm not saying there's no truth to it, but people just blow it out of proportion. For example, after a workout, people are like, I gotta take my protein shake after that hour. I need that meet the anabolic window. That anabolic window is not 1 hour. The anabolic window is like 24 to 48 hours.
I can't live like that.
Okay, you forgot your protein shake? Oh my god, I go to my house to get my protein shake. You're gonna bust your ass through traffic trying to meet your house just to consume a shake? No. At the end of the day, it's calories in, calories out. If you meet your calories needs, and also the macronutrients support those calories, that's the ultimate determining factor. Meal timing is irrelevant to me.
Right.
Obviously, yes, you want to eat every 2 to 3 hours, because, like, think about it. You don't want to eat, like, fucking 2 giant or 3 giant meals in, like, one sitting, or, like, one sitting or two. Like, that's going to be hard to digest.
Right. So, I guess that's why I asked the question,
It's like space out your meals. So,
okay, so how many meals would you suggest for a listener who is trying to lose some weight and get strong and, get a beach body? What would you suggest for them to do with just their nutritional life?
So if your goal is weight loss, like you want to burn fat, you have to be in some sort of caloric deficit. In other words, eat less than your body can burn, so that way your body gets tap into your fat stores. Because excess fat is just basically stored energy your body's not using. So if you're eating less than your body can burn, your body needs to find some sort of alternative energy source, and that's going to be your fats.
Right.
So people ask me, what's my caloric deficit? Well, a lot of it is trial and error. There are TDEE calculators online that can help you figure out, like, give you a guesstimation of how much, like, calories you should be eating if your goal is to lose, maintain, or gain. So, like, a general rule of thumb with people, if you figure out what your TDEE is, subtract 500 calories from that.
Right.
So you lose 1 pound a week. If you want to be more aggressive, take 1,000 off.
Okay.
Well, how sustainable would be taking 1,000 off? I feel like taking 500 off, that's just
I advocate 500. Okay, the slower you lose the weight, the better.
Yeah, just like cutting out candy, cutting out, that extra piece of bread from your meal when
And
you
another
want
thing,
to have.
People, they try to run before they can walk when it comes to eating. They try to cut off everything too much at once. They're like, I'm going to cut off sugar, I'm going to cut off bread, I'm going to cut off candy, I'm going to cut off yada, 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 all at once. Really, you should take baby steps. Cut out one thing one at a time.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm going to cut off soda for like a week or like a month. Or goals. Okay, you accomplished that small goal. You got rid of soda. Now take it a step further. Omit something else from your diet. Eventually, those small goals are after big goals. Next thing you know, you're eating healthy and clean.
Right. It's the same way with anything else in life. Like people who want to, like people who smoke cigarettes. People who cut cold turkey. That's going to be like the worst 2 weeks of your life.
Yeah.
To get rid of it. But like for my dad, for an example, he used to smoke maybe like a pack a day, pack and a half a day.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just it's because he was doing it from when he was my age. And just kept smoking and smoking. Back then it was a cultural thing. In the 80s and 90s, people were just doing it just so they could look cool.
Before that too.
And even before that, yeah. But now, like once you get into it, you realize now I'm addicted, and now I have to have it. And he started doing vaping when the e-cigs came out. He started doing that. Adding the nicotine in it, but slowly he started to add less and less nicotine. To now he doesn't even do it anymore. So I feel like with that, Michael, it's the same thing. You have to just keep cutting out things gradually, because if you cut cold turkey, of course it's going to be hard. You're not going to want to fucking do it. But if you gradually, progress yourself into that, it's going to be a lot better for you in the long run. Be more manageable for you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, was the other part of your question? Was it muscle building?
Yeah.
So, to build muscle, you have to be in some sort of caloric surplus. In other words, the slang, you got to bulk up. So there are a lot of common misconceptions when people bulk. People think I just got to eat a shit ton of food or magically turn into muscle. Like, no, yes, you'd be in caloric surplus. Like, you need to eat above your caloric maintenance to help to give your body the ideal environment to produce muscle. So, like, general rule of thumb is to eat 250 to 500 above your caloric maintenance. So, like, say my caloric maintenance is 3,000 calories. That's roughly speaking, that's my maintenance.
Okay.
I should be consuming 3,250 or 3,500 calories a day, and ideally, yeah.
Especially eating clean. That's
But I mean, he's 6'7", so.
But I mean, like, just the fact that you have to get 3,500 calories clean wise, like,
Yeah,
and
that's-
not going through junk food or fast
Yeah,
food.
That's
that's-
difficult
that is-
because
that is.
clean food is not calorically dense.
No,
Right.
It's just low in calories. Where if you go to McDonald's, I can eat meat 300 calories like that. I can eat
Yeah.
that one meal. They're so calorically dense.
You have a Big Mac with a medium fry and a soda, you're already at
You're-
1,200 calories.
Yeah, you're already met your
You're already
caloric.
met him for like halfway through the day. You have another one of those, like that guy. You guys remember? There was a guy who used to eat Big Macs for breakfast. Like he would eat two.
Oh,
was it
the
two or three-
supersize me?
Yeah, supersized meat. He would eat like 2 or 3 Big Macs a day, and that's it. That would all he would eat because that would meet his caloric.
Oh, I'm thinking of a
To
different
maintain.
person then.
We watched that in grammar school.
Yeah,
Super Size Me.
have you guys seen the supersize me
Have you seen
movie?
Supersize? You haven't seen Supersize
So,
Me? You
Supersize
gotta
Me-
watch that show, man.
For anybody who hasn't listened, it's about a guy who goes into McDonald's and eats McDonald's for every single meal
For a month.
for a month.
And
he-
this was back when they had
the supersize.
Supersize Me. So if they asked you, they would always ask you if you want to supersize the meal. So that means they would give you an even bigger fry, even bigger drink. And
Yeah.
I mean the sandwich would be the same, but it was just the sides that they gave you would be bigger.
Yeah, like the large pop now was like a medium back in the day,
Oh yeah.
and the large was even bigger. And if you got the supersize pop, it was literally a gallon of soda.
Yeah, it was huge. It was ridiculous.
And people were eating that by themselves. That supersized box of fries was massive. It was 2 times the size of the large fries now. It was so big, and people were eating it. And you know, the movie itself was trying to attempt to discuss like the obesity rate in America, and you know, part of the reason is fast food and bad food.
Yeah. Dude, every time I eat like McDonald's or I rarely eat that shit, but when I do,
Your body feels like shit,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
I
you
feel
feel terrible.
right away, and I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah.
I would have been. If I were to drink a soda right now, which I haven't drank in like multiple years, it will taste like fucking syrup to me. If I were
Oh,
to
it
drink
does. It does. It really
I-
does.
when I drink pop at work, that's what it tastes like. I don't even taste the flavor.
That's why you
It's
just gotta-
literally just syrup and sugar.
That's why you just gotta drink beer.
There's flavor in that.
Yeah, but
like,
there's no syrup in it.
I'll have a beer like with my like food or something, you know, instead of like a soda. So I think that's a healthier.
I will also
Right?
tell people like, so like, to get back to like bulking, the most common bulking mistakes. There's a video I refer to people to watch, and it's actually smart. His name is Mark Lobliner. He's like a professional bodybuilder, and this dude's like, he's pretty jacked, and like he gives top 5 common mistakes. I forgot what each one was, but he gives top 5 mistakes I agree with. And like another thing is for bulking is that they do it forever. You should only bulk for a certain amount of time. Because I like to give the example like bulking is like sucking on a titty. Like, it's like,
Here we go. Here we
Think
go.
about it.
You got my attention.
Yeah.
You're drinking, like for example, eventually that titty is gonna dry up, and you're just not gonna be building muscle.
Okay.
So I always like to bulk for 4 to 6 months.
Okay. So you give yourself a time period of when
Yeah.
you're going to be eating.
I bulk from fall to winter,
Okay.
4 to 6 months, and I try to gain. But currently my goal is to get 240. I'm currently 230.
Okay. That's 10 pounds of muscle that you're trying to gain.
Yeah.
But this is going to be pretty hard. Because muscle gain is pretty difficult if you really think about it. Like, being Mexican, like, gaining fat is easy, bro. Like, you don't work out or anything for
Just
a
have a
week
couple
like that.
tacos, a
Exactly.
burrito, and
Hell
a
out,
couple beers.
like Mexican food, like it's just fucking
It's
it'll
all-
get you there. It'll get you fat.
So with eating the Mexican food, like say you order a steak taco, would eating that steak itself be better for you than just eliminating the tortilla out of it?
I wouldn't eat it. I just wouldn't eat it at all because like you don't know where that like how that steak's prepared, like if it's lean or like if it's processed.
Oh, so
Again, that's just me because I'm a very strict nutritionalist.
Right.
So like, again, just to go back, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the titty reference. Like think of, like it's gonna dry up eventually.
Mhm.
Eventually, you keep eating more and more and more
Right.
because you're on a plateau most likely.
Okay. And that's that's always, I think, a struggle when you reach that plateau where you can't. I mean, eventually you're gonna break it, but to be in that plateau, especially like for me, numbers was a big thing when I would go to the gym to figure out like to make sure that my numbers are going up. Like on bench, that wouldn't stay at like 225; it would go up to like 250.
Right.
But at a certain point, you do plateau. And you're like, well, I can't, like, I can get this weight, but I can't go any more than that. I'm pretty sure all of us have been there. I don't know if you focus on numbers.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't do any powerlifting in my routine. I don't chase numbers at all.
Okay.
I just go. My training is strictly hypertrophy.
Consistency?
Yeah, I look at weight, I pump it out, and I feel like, okay, if I did 8 reps this week, maybe I'll try to go for 9 the other week. Just progressive overload.
Okay. So then we'll move on to that, talking about like the actual gym itself, because I agree with Michael that it has to be 100% every way. I feel like you have to do that in life. You know, I mean, you can't just have it's not 50-50. It's 100-100 with everything that you do. And
Unless it's math, definitely don't.
if you're gonna do it, just go balls deep, man. Just the boonies and just in a trailer park somewhere.
Sell your house and go buy a trailer.
He said, if you're gonna do it, man, there's no going back. Just sell everything you got, tell your family goodbye for at least 10 years, and
or
you'll be back.
Or goodbye forever.
Yeah, if you're gonna go deep, you're gonna go deep. So,
no middle ground. Just either you do it or you don't.
So you're gonna do something, you better be good at it.
How much meth can you shoot up?
So to go back to the gym, a lot of my workouts were based off of football workouts, which is a very powerlifting, pro powerlifting.
Like squats, bench, deadlift.
Right.
Yeah, and that's how mine was too.
And so, Eric, what was yours like going into like the gym and the things that you do? Like, is it number based? Is it just consistency based? Like, how is it?
Or is it just running?
Well, I mostly like to run more than anything. Yeah.
You're a psychopath.
So, right now it's like it's really fucking cold. So now I go to the gym and I just do some reps on the fucking bench press. Just lift some. I'm not looking to get like fucking like Mr. like Olympia. I just want to stay in shape, stay healthy. Feel comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah.
Be nice and lean,
Yeah.
be healthy.
That's how it is for me now. That it's like I don't really care much for the numbers unless I'm working out with you, Richard.
I was just curious. That's
Yeah.
why.
I'm just curious. Well, I gotta keep pumping out.
Well,
these big
then one day
numbers.
you guys are trying to push for the max for bench.
Well, I mean,
For me-
surprised I didn't fucking.
For me, that the reason I'm curious is because I did a challenge for myself of 30 days of 100 push-ups every single day, and I got stronger, and I knew I got stronger, but I wanted to see how strong I got, and before that, I wasn't doing any exercise at all. It was just strictly work and sleep every day, and
Life happens. That's what
yeah,
happens.
for sure. So I wanted to see, how strong I was, if I'm still strong like I used to be, and that's part of the reason I wanted to see if I could max in the bench and see how much I could hit.
You could just give a douchebag answer like, I just want to see how I fucking am. I just want to see how strong I am.
I
I would have been okay with that too.
but I was
Look, you want to see who was stronger?
Basically, that was my mentality.
I definitely don't think that's the case because I know I'm stronger than all of you guys. Except Mike. Mike's just a superstar.
No, I'm not a strong guy at all. I don't do any powerlifting at all. I don't do.
Powerlifting wise, I think I'm pretty strong. But
Yeah.
when it comes to other workouts, like the other day when you guys were doing the shoulder, like holding up the weights for 30 seconds, I struggled in the second set. I was just like, oh! 8 seconds in, I'm just like, I'm done. So
yeah, I mean that's how I shape it now too. I just look to be in shape. I don't really chase numbers as much as I used to because before I even went through a period where I was like, let's see where my maxes are. Just to see where I'm at and then build up from there. But then it's more now focusing on just maintaining good weight
Right.
and doing weight I can do instead of struggling or tearing a pec or a tricep or anything.
and that's
I don't know if you guys have ever seen
That's
that.
why I don't do.
That's disgusting.
That's why I don't do powerlifting. Is my biggest fear is like you potentially injuring yourself. Is like
yeah.
powerlifting. Your goal is to push your 1 rep max, try and get as strong as possible.
Mm.
The more weight you carry, the more weight you're trying to lift, the more you could potentially injure yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what. I didn't cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was gonna say like you look at strongmen videos, like some people take powerlifting to the fucking extreme.
Yeah.
Oh,
People
yeah.
like Eddie Hall, Brian Shaw,
I followed them
Thor
on
from
Instagram.
the Mountain. I watched a Netflix movie by them. They're doing
I did
strongman
too, yeah.
competition. I'm like, dude, they even tell themselves like it's a chess game. You gotta be extremely careful when you're doing a powerlifting exercise. When you're trying to go very heavy, because even the slightest mistake, even the slightest thing is off, you could easily tear
Yeah,
tear something.
imagine trying to clean 500 pounds and your muscle twitches.
Mhm.
You can die. You can literally die. It's not even a joke.
That's why I do strictly like dumbbells, cables, and machines because like you can kind of like you can self spot yourself easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I'm doing a dumbbell bench press and it's too fucking heavy, I'm just gonna drop the dumbbells. I've never seen anyone fucking tear their pec on a dumbbell bench press.
Yeah.
I've seen people tear a pec on a barbell bench press.
Yeah. So then, for you and your workouts, you focus.
It's a lot isolation workouts.
Yeah, I used to do that shit too, and it's fun. You know what I mean? That you get to go to the gym, and you're like, today's arm day, or today's chest day,
I don't do arms.
today's back day. Well, all right, whatever, Michael. But for me, it was just like it was that I get to put my week into what I'm gonna do at the gym, and Wednesdays always sucked because it was either leg day or cardio day. I hated both of those. But then like Monday would be like biceps and triceps. Tuesday would be chest, and then Thursday would be back, and then Friday would be. What did I miss? Did I miss something?
You say back.
I think I said back. Right?
You say shoulders.
Shoulders. So yeah, it's that's how it would like shape my week and what
So
I would
the bro
do.
split.
Yeah, kind of. Just to give myself what I'm gonna do, and then figure out how I'm gonna do it. And that's how I would shape working out. Now it's just like I go in, I do a full body workout. I'll do cardio for a little bit, and I'll hit everything at least once, and then go home satisfied with myself,
Right.
partially.
And I think just to go back to bulking mistakes, another thing people mistake is that they're not mindful of where their calories are coming from.
Mhm.
They just eat whatever's in sight.
Yeah.
So like, yes, don't think calories are calories. You need to make sure where those calories are coming from.
Mhm.
Like you want to make sure you're eating an appropriate amount of carbs, fat, and protein.
Right.
Not only that, you want to make sure they're coming from healthy sources.
Mhm.
It's why I have a big gripe with IIFYM. In other words, if it fits your macros.
Okay.
Yes, you might get similar results, but from a micronutrient perspective, in other words, like feeding your body vitamins and minerals for optimal health,
Right.
I guarantee if you do an IFIM approach, you're going to get a big gap in your micronutrient health. Like, you're not going to be a healthy individual.
Yeah.
Because all your macros are coming from shit sources, most likely.
Right, like compared to you get a salad from McDonald's and you eat the chicken there compared to the chicken that you'll get that's 100% farm raised or whatever.
100% real chicken, not whatever McDonald's gives you.
Until they come out with now made with real chicken. What was that shit made with before? That type of thing. But I agree with you. It depends on. Would you say you focus on the quality of the food?
Yeah,
More than the
I would say
quantity?
if you want your body to look like $1 million, you got to feed it high quality food.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
it's like having it's like having a sports car. How do you maintain a sports car? You can give it good gasoline, or you can take a cheap gas.
I mean, you have
cheap
to
oil.
have
85.
Yeah.
You have to treat your body the same way.
83% off.
Probably a bad comparison, but like still, like you.
No, it makes sense. I
Like
do it like that.
and then I get all your macro sources. Like me personally, if I eat carbs, it's strictly from potatoes, particularly sweet potatoes, fruits, veggies, whole grains, some vegan sources. From protein, it's strictly I eat eggs, chicken, protein powder, Greek yogurt, etc., etc. Fats, egg yolks, nuts, avocados. I take a fish oil, peanut butter, etc., etc.
Yeah.